So let me check if I can open my own stream here. And then I'm going to begin. I was actually thinking about Christine, but I wasn't sure because I'm like really bad at names. And I didn't want to mess up. So that's the reason why I always add my, the people that join my classes in the gym, I always add them onto my Facebook list, because if I see a name a lot, I remember it. But if I don't do that, I have people that come to my class for a year now and I still don't know their names. Yay, some Dutchies. Okay, so I'm finally was able to add my YouTube to my iPad. So now I just need to find my own stream and then I'm good to go. So in case you wonder why I sound a little bit crazy, oh well, I think I sound a bit crazy. I'm having this really bad cold, and yesterday I really wasn't sure that it was going to be this bad, but now I'm sniffing and sneezing, so I'm apologizing up front for all the sneezing and sniffing. And then the second thing is that it was quite hot the last couple of days here in Holland, so I needed to open my windows here because my studio is on the top floor. But that also makes it, you're probably gonna hear some cars passing by, and well, I'm not sure that's a problem, but just so you know. And it gets a bit windy, so I need to close my window just a little bit. So now I can begin. Okay, so for everyone who's living in Holland, I've added a link to Hobby Vision, so you can find the supplies that I'm using over in that shop. And for everybody who's not from Holland, I've added my scrapbook.com links, but please note that those are affiliate links, so I receive a small commission if you decide to buy your supplies through my links. So it's not that you pay more, but I receive a small percentage. So I can buy my supplies too. Okay, so what I have here, I'm just going to show you what I have laying around here. I prepared quite good for me, because I normally don't prepare these things, and now I did. So here's what I did. I need to find out if I can add the comments to my YouTube video here. I have two sets of, I have one set of tags. One tag is actually by the Dusty Attic, which is pretty awesome because it's just cardboard. And I really like this. So they come in different sizes. I only have this one because the other ones were too big and the other ones were too small. So I just needed this one, and I'd like to work on the same size. So I cut one myself from cardboards. So that's the other one, that's cardboard. So then I have some, well, usually I would say clay figures, but I'm using resin instead of clay nowadays. And I'm using a 2-component resin that dries really fast. And I'm using, well, Christine, I kinda just display them here, or just well, store them in a box. A lot of people ask me, what do you do with your pieces? But I'm not all into selling, because that takes up quite a lot of time, and that time I really would rather use to create. So that's why I'm not selling anything, but I'm still thinking of selling them maybe on a fair, or I'm not sure how to call it. So maybe I'm going to do that, but for now I just store them in a box and we'll see. Yes, I really like this resin. Yes, especially this one. So, wow, they don't fit the screen. How is that possible? Let me pick it up just a little. So, this is better. Okay, so I've used a couple of older Prima marketing molds. These are actually by Redesign. So it's Prima, but it's the Redesign line. So they're a bit bigger than the other Prima molds, or the figures are a bit bigger. And I'm using my two favorites. So I became Finnabair's brand ambassador last week, 2 weeks ago now. So I was already all into Finnabair's products, but now I'm even more. But these are really my favorites, so I really like these. So I made some figures using resin. I've got some mid-form castings, so that's a really, really cool brand. A Polish brand, and I think if you visit their Facebook page, you can find where you can buy these in your country. And I have 2 pieces of chipboard, also by the Dusty Attic, which I really like again. These are actually cut from a 12 by 12 inch sheet with all these kind of little squares. And I have a Dusty Attic stencil, and I have some waxes and paints, and I've got all sorts of mediums, including my Lindy's embossing powder. So I'm going to show you what you can do with embossing powder, and especially how to incorporate it with mixed media projects. So that's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to begin, and I really wanted to show you guys a technique that I used, well, actually ever since I started doing mixed media, which is adding a Lindy's embossing powder to black modeling paste. Because the Lindy's embossing powder is like really beautiful on black modeling paste because it's a bit iridescent. So yeah, well, you'll see. I don't know how to explain it, but it's nice. I would really want to see the things you guys say in the chat, but I'm not sure how to. Oh, look at this. I found it. Okay, so let's make this black first, because I kind of forgot to prepare that. I was so prepared, I thought. So I'm just adding some black gesso. I kind of figured I was going to do this up front, but I don't know, I forgot. So the good thing, because I know some of you would rather see me go do live streams on Facebook, but one of the reasons that I wanted to do it on YouTube was the fact that the stream is almost real life in comparison to the chat. So if you guys ask me something, I almost see the question in real time. I said real life, I meant real time. So it's easier to answer your questions. And if I'm doing the Facebook thing, Facebook has like this, well, I think your guys are behind for a minute or so. So that's a bit weird when you're answering questions. So I try to keep up with your questions, but I also need to check what I'm doing, so I probably miss a couple. So the fun thing with chipboard is that it's so easy to paint on or whatever. It doesn't need any primers or whatever. You can just add some gesso and it's good to go. So the resin pieces that I have laying around here, I've already added some layers of clear gesso to them. Just otherwise I might forget to tell you that. But the reason that I did that, the resin is like really smooth, and it's almost a plastic kind of piece. So if I'm adding any kind of paint, it's really hard to get it covered, covered really good. And if I'm now adding a layer of paint, it's more easy. So. So let me dry this for a sec. So I think some of you may know this already, but in case you wonder, I work on a glass mat. So what I did, I have this IKEA table. It actually is black, but I wanted a white background for my videos. So what I did was just buy a couple of big white sheets, and I ordered a big glass plate. Is that how you call it? And put it on top. And it's actually like a plate that could also be used for tables or whatever. So it's thick and it's, well, it can handle quite a bit. So that's what I'm using. So if you see me scratch off the paint, it's because it's hardened glass. I kind of missed one of your comments, but so I need to pay attention to my screen. So what I mostly do is just go and answer any comments that I missed after the stream. So if you wanted to ask me something and I didn't answer, I probably will do that after I'm finished the stream. So I like to work on a clean surface, so that's why I'm just getting rid of these pieces of paint. You could also paint the other side of it, of course. That's a good idea, Janneke. Hi, Daisy. Yeah, so Tim Holtz mats is, it's almost... Okay, so this is what happens when I pay attention to my screen and try to talk like at the same time. I just stop talking or I stop staring at the screen, so that won't work. Everybody always tells me, girls can do more things at once, but I can't. So I'm going to put some black gesso on my chipboard pieces. I'm just using a sponge. I actually didn't decide yet on what color I wanted to use them, but I'd like to use some black gesso on them. So I'm using a sponge just because it's easier. And it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to use embossing powder on it anyway. But it's more that I need to have a black background or a black base. Van Dusty Attic Ango. Oh my, I'm sniffing. Okay, let me wipe off my nose. So, this is it. Let me clean this. I actually didn't want to use black gesso because of the mess. But it's so much fun and it's easy to work with black gesso. Yeah, they are gorgeous. Ja, Mirjam. Nou, vriendlief is net nog even naar de winkel geweest en toen heeft hij echt heel lief zakdoekjes voor me gehaald, want dit kwam een beetje plotseling. So sorry guys, I was in Dutch, like really fast. So if you want to practice your Dutch, just ask us and we'll help you. So here this is the base. So first I wanted to show you my one of my favorite techniques. I'm going to add some paint. Yeah, maybe I can do that. Yeah, let me paint some first. I really didn't think this through though. But handkerchief is more of a fabric kind of thing, right? I'm just using the paper ones. Oh my. Yeah, well, it must have been the weather or something. It's like 30 degrees in here and well, it's a summer cold or something. Ooh, that would be fun, Christine. I'd love to see what you create. You're super busy creating, so... No, well... I'm not sure when it was, but I think it was last year. Oh, around Christmas. I totally lost my voice. But like, really, I couldn't talk anymore. So I made this video when I talked to JR Dog. And she was like, "You're not my boss. You're not my human. Who are you?" And she was barking at me. And so this town that we live in is like one of the more busy areas with campsites and everything. We're living on a quite rural place, but we have a lot of tourists at the moment. And somehow the half of Amsterdam is here right now. So we've got a lot of young people come by on their bikes with lots of music and anything. And so if you hear any music on the background, it's not me. It's fun though. But I'm always glad when summer is over and things get quiet again. So let me give you an advice on these little paint bottles. If you're using them, please don't be like me and clean out your containers. Okay, so whenever I need to talk English and I can't think about words, I just don't remember how to call things. But this thing, you need to clean it because otherwise it will get stuck and you won't get it open anymore. So I'm the lid. Thank you. So I'm not that good with my products, materials. So I don't take good care of them. Please do, because otherwise they get stuck. Okay, so this is it. I'm using, just so you know, Stormy Ocean and Amethyst. I've added every single wax Finnabair has into my, ooh, what happened here? Into my description box. That's not because I'm using them all, but I didn't decide on what to use when I created that list. Yeah, I think I probably should do that, Miriam. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to add some modeling paste. I'm using a stencil by The Dusty Attic. It's a fun handwritten stencil. And I'm adding some black modeling paste. The one in the list isn't exactly this one, but I've added Finnabair's black sand, which I think is pretty awesome to use, but I don't have it right now, so I can't show you. And I think I also added just a regular black modeling paste. I think it's pretty similar to this one. So I'm just adding it, not very, again, it doesn't have to be perfect or anything, just add it. Ooh, That already looks so nice. Can I do this in screen? Perfect. Look at that. I like this. But wait until you see it with embossing powder. It's going to be so cool. So the embossing powders that I'm going to use are Midnight Copper and 2 of the Angel Wings. And Angel Wings embossing powders are just really, really pretty. Oh, I already told this because they're iridescent. They're really cool. Ooh, I like this. I'm seriously hoping I'm not going to put everything on top, so that I'm now doing really the best I can to make this look pretty gorgeous. And once I'm finished, I'm going to find out that I actually glued everything on top. But that's mixed media. When I first started, I read somewhere that somebody said it's like hide and seek. And I always remembered that, because that is really the thing. Just hide and seek. You decide to glue on something, and when you're finished, you already just glued everything on top. But that's okay, that's fun. So I'm just cleaning it because otherwise I really can't use it anymore. Yeah, Stacy. The beautiful layers. Well, at first I was kind of worried about all those layers, because you really have to learn how to work with them. But now I kind of always use things like buttons or just clay pieces that I won't use anymore, just to layer. So I won't feel that bad if you can't see them once I'm finished. So this black modeling paste is like pretty hard to clean. It's almost clean now. So this one can be put away. So what I did, because of the fact that I was cleaning my stencil, the paste also could dry just a little. It's not necessary for it to be all wet. So what I'm first going to do is add a little bit of Angel Wings Peacock, which is a teal kind of angel wings tone. It's a very good idea. Oh yeah. I'm just adding a bit of powder, but not too much, so I don't want to cover it all. I only want to cover pieces. And again, I don't want it to be perfect. So it's okay if I mess it up a bit. It kind of sticks to my paint though. So let me dry this. So let me take a look if I can show you this. So it kind of got stuck on my wet paint, but it's going to dry really cool, so I really don't mind. So it takes a bit longer if you're heat setting your powder onto onto modeling paste. I think it has something to do with the embossing powder or modeling paste texture. So now I remembered I wanted to add another color. So I'm going to do that first. I'm kind of curious if this will work. Yes, of course it does. It always works. So I'm not that worried anymore to contaminate my colors. But if you are, just make sure that you don't use too much powder here, so you can put it in another container. Because with this technique, your powder is going to be mixed together. You just can't prevent the first powder to mix with the other one. So let me heat set this. I really like the colors though. So I like the fact that this is so easy. It's just a little bit of paint and embossing powder. Haha, dat is de bedoeling, Saskia. So the only thing with the chipboard tags is that it's getting pretty hot under my fingers here. I'm going to lay them down just for a bit because it's easier. Yeah, Christine. But you weren't using embossing powder, right? Oh, you did? So I'm just slow. So if this is finished, I can show you guys the effect of both of the embossing powders. But it needs to be melted first. Well, you can't really see it on camera, but I can see the sparkle. And for everybody who knows me a little bit longer, I just have a thing for sparkles. So this is it. I really like the effect. So you've got the sparkle and you've got the paint. So this is the base. It doesn't need a lot more than this. So what I'm not going to do now is add some embossing powder to my chipboard pieces. Or maybe I'm not. Oh, I need to melt this better. I think I'm going to use wax on them. That's pretty too. I think I'm going to do that because I really like the H brass wax. So scrapbook.com doesn't have I can't find it on scrapbook.com, but I know the new Firebird. So this color is similar too, but it's a bit more orange. So if you're looking for a alternative for the H brass color, you can just use Firebird. I can show you both colors. So this is H brass and this is Firebird. So it's just a bit more orange, but it's nice too. On black you don't really see the difference. I may even like the Firebird a bit more now because it's just a bit brighter. So this is the difference. So you can see this one is just a bit more orange. Yeah, I like that color. I'm going to use that on the other chipboard too, just because I can. So I really can't see who is watching now, but I'm really curious, besides the people from Holland that are watching, if there are more people from other countries, except for Christine, because I saw Christine. So this is the work for now. So this thing I'm doing with my castings now is just add a bit of, where is my wax? I need to find my wax. Oh, no. So the one that I wanted to use is gone. No, I'll probably find it. Here it is. So now it really is gone because I dropped it. So here it is. Okay. So I'm just going to add a bit of white gold. It's a super easy color, and it's just not that different from its original color, but it's just matches the rest a bit more. So that's why I'm adding it. But it's just a really thin layer, nothing special. And just to make everything match, I will add a bit of this color on the sides of my labels or tags too. And it's cool because I only added, ja, Angelique. Het is gewoon gelijk op de, daar zit niks onder. I don't use any layer or something. Or no gesso or... So I only use modeling paste and some gesso on these tags, but look at that structure. It's really cool. And I'm going to do the same thing on the cardboard one. Well, but this is actually the white gold and not the vintage gold. Vintage gold is more really gold. Yes, better. So this is perfect together. Yeah, I think you need both. Okay, I need to check if I can somehow make the comments, oh, stay on the screen. Well, hello there. I think I found it. Yes. Perfect. Okay, so white gold. Now I'm going to paint these little pieces, and I'm actually still in doubt what color I should use, but I think I'm going to use the same as I did for the tag. Yes, Janneke. In Holland we always say that hobbies can cost money, and that's okay. I'm not sure if they mean the money that I spend on it, but hey. I can think of so many things that are worse to spend your money on. So I already added a layer of white, a clear gesso to these pieces. But as you can see, it's still quite difficult to cover or to get a good coverage right away. So what I'm doing is just adding a thin layer, because I know I need to add another layer anyway. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just adding a thin layer. Oh, ja. Ik zie nou de vraag pas. Nee, het zijn metallics. Dus these are the metallic paints. Ja, Angoot is echt super fijn. So in Holland, we've just started using the 2-component resin, like amazing casting resin, and it's just perfect. It's just so much easier than clay is. You need to wait with clay, and well, I don't really like how it turns out. And this one is like really, really smooth. It's just perfect. Okay, so why did I decide to use so many big pieces? I'm so glad I thought of getting a layer of gesso on top of them before I started. Otherwise I would be painting gesso for like the whole stream. So, just to keep you busy, I found out that I've reached the 4,000 subscribers yesterday. So that's a big thing. I kind of want to go to the 5,000, and if I reach that, I probably will do some kind of celebration. That would be fun. Yeah, I was kind of proud of it because I only started doing mixed media like 2 years ago. So I was quite proud of myself. I'm uploading videos like crazy for 2 years, so. Okay, so I'm going to do purple stars on this one and blue stars on the other one. So it would be better if you would use wax, because that would be so much easier and much faster, but I have time. Dank je, Ango. So there's this fair going on outside, just just 1 block away or something, in the city center or the town center. And now I can hear all these kids that don't want to leave just yet, and the parents who want to go back to the campsite, and kids are screaming and yelling and just throwing a tantrum outside. It's always funny to hear that. Oh my, yeah. Marije, eigenlijk moeten we dat inderdaad maar doen. So, Marije offered me to help, but I kind of refused because I don't know why. Because I thought it wasn't necessary, but oh well. It may be relaxing too for you guys to just watch me paint, but I'm not sure. You're still here, so you're probably okay with it. But Marije is going to be very impatient. So this color is like super pretty, and I think it's almost one of my favorite colors, because my really favorite is one of the sparks and other metallic ones, but I really like this color. It's like a dark teal kind of color, and it's just gorgeous. And I have this teal addiction. So I'm always talking about the color teal. I don't know why. It's a disease, I think. Oh wow, Carrie. Okay, so that's like the biggest compliment. Thank you. So I probably need to shut up so you can just watch me paint. It's almost some kind of mindfulness. Yeah, I really like the purple one too. I like them both, but I'm not sure. They're just good together. That's good to hear, Carrie. Thank you. So now this live band started playing just, I think, probably 200 meters or so down the road. That's fun. So we've got ourselves a little bit of background music, some mindful painting, some sniffing and sneezing. I don't think that I paint this mindful, but because I'm like really rushing. Wow, faster, faster. Thanks, Angelique. So I really love this little moon face. So do you see that the blue is actually covering like way better than the purple one? It's a good thing. So now I don't have to add another layer onto the blue pieces, but I do on the purple. But they will be dry when I finish this one, so. Ja, resin, Monique. Van het Amazing Casting Resin. Yeah, you need to, Carrie. So just a small thing. Like, I'm kind of addicted to resin. I wanted to try some different kind of resin, and now I have like way too many. But I'm probably have enough for like 3 years or so. Yeah, well, it was really for it had a purpose, because I wanted to try some different kind of resins. And I kind of start pouring a little bit more, and well, then kind of this happened. But I can use them in my classes anyway, so it's always good to have some extra. Although this is kind of a bit more than some extra. Okay, so the blue is done. Just adding a bit more purple. No, they aren't. They're actually, I think it's similar to the Creole Do and Dry white modeling material. So it's not as light as paper paste or as what's it called? The really thin one. I think you had it in my class, Yvonne. But it's not as heavy as clay. So it's just perfect. You could use it on cards too if you would want to. But the only thing is, it's not like this, it's not really good for the environment because it's plastic. And I always use a paper cup for it, and I use plastic containers to pour my both components in. And it's, yeah, well, that's not like a really good thing. Yes, you really should do that. You haven't been to Everleigh yet, so... Well, maybe another time. That would be cool. Yes, I like resin too. It's just, it may cost a little bit more than clay, but it's so much easier. And if you decide to create a piece today and you need some pieces, you can just pour the resin in like 10 minutes or so. You can go ahead and work with it. And I really like that. I don't like to wait. I'm super impatient when it comes to creating. I have to be patient at work every day, so... So, oh, I love this piece. I haven't been using this yet because I didn't really like the way it was turning out when I used it with clay. But now I can finally see the mold as it should be, and it's gorgeous. Okay, so look at my fingers. This is like really, really, really dirty. Nou, de volgende keer, Saskia, als je nou gewoon een keer hierheen komt en mee komt doen met een workshop. Oh my, I'm getting stuck to the stars. So can you hear the youth shouting outside? It really sounds like I'm living in a big city, but it's just a small town. A really small town. So the funny thing is that they look good now, but wait till you see what they look like if I'm adding some wax. They're gorgeous. So let me clean my fingers just a bit because this doesn't really look good. Nou, Angel, je kan ook een keer naar mij komen, hè? Mag ook naar Ermelo. Als dat te doen is voor je, dat weet ik eigenlijk niet. Okay, so sticky fingers. Oh, my dear, I'm so glad I have a scrubby downstairs. So what I'm going to do next is just add some wax on top of my resin pieces. I need to fix this bottle because this won't work. Okay, let me do that later. Okay, let me think about what color I'm going to use. Haha, Sylvie. Yes, the embellishments are amazing. Ja, maar. Maar even de Ermelo ook leuk, hè? Oké. Oh, yeah, Saskia, well, yeah. So, Saskia is asking if it works the same as clay does, the resin, and it does. But what you should keep in mind that is it's a plastic kind of piece. So it's really smooth and you need to add layers of gesso before it will work with paint. So that's something you need to keep in mind. But for me, that's better than waiting for clay to dry. Oh, nou, dat heb ik dus nog nooit gehoord, Ilse. Nou, Ango, ik denk dat het voor jou denk ik niet zo heel veel uitmaakt of je dan nou naar reizen gaat of naar mij. Maar goed, reizen is ook leuk. Ja, het is allebei leuk, toch? Okay, so I'm using H-brass on the purple pieces, and I'm thinking about what I should use on the blue ones. So I need to figure it out. Echt? Oh. Lol. Ik zal het eens aan Nicky vragen, die weet het wel. Okay, so I'm totally loving H-brass with purple. Look at how amazing this looks. It's just perfect. I love this. Oh, I'm so glad, Maya. Okay. Here. Oh wow, I was switching to Dutch automatically. I think I just feel really comfortable, so I'm switching to Dutch. Just because I feel so comfortable. Gezellig, Iels. En dan mag jij me leren watercoloren. Okay, so what color should I use on the blue one? I think I'm going to use silver or white gold. I'm just going to try and we'll see. I think this will probably be the good color. Yes. Yes, this is perfect. So just a little bit of paint and wax, and it isn't more to it. Ah, that's going to be cool, Yvonne. So I might be able to get a bigger classroom or studio to teach a bigger class. So maybe we can do that. Okay, so I'm totally loving this. It's perfect. I really like the fact that I combined both of them. So if I'm using both colors on both tags, and I really like that. It's a nice effect. Yes. So let me see. I'm going to glue them on top. So I'm using heavy body gel. So people are start making plans here to come to classes together. Thank you. I like the combination too. But I must be honest that I most of the time just do something. I don't really think about it that much. But that's the good thing with Finnabair, is that almost any color just combines very well with another one. They really complement each other. So heavy body gel it is. So I'm always applying it with a brush, but make sure that you use a brush that well, how do you say it? That if you don't mind that it gets stiff and all hard, because you can't use it anymore if you're using it for heavy medium. Wow. I was thinking and speaking at the same time, and I really can do that when I'm talking in English. It just won't work. Ja, dat mag sowieso, Saskia. You get a free studio tour if you're booking a class here. course. I'm so not going to like this, so I need to get a piece under here because it won't fit. Okay, so that one needs to be colored real fast. Well, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just adding a large dot of heavy gel medium. I'm too impatient today. Will this work? Of course it will. I can put a star under there. That will work. Perfect. So, can you see how the super pretty, awesome modeling paste is almost disappearing? It was such a good idea, but you won't see it when it's finished, I'm afraid. But that's okay. It's hide and seek, hide and seek. Haha, thank you, Miriam. It's cool when people call you awesome. Hoi, Crea Red. Weet je dat ik niet eens weet hoe je echt heet? Dat is toch ook grappig? Ik moet altijd heel stom aan die rode gestel denken, maar dat komt door die stomme new kids. Als ik dan Red zie staan, dan moet ik daar altijd aan denken. Super stom. Zo. Dat is die. Okay, so I almost forgot this piece. How can I forget about this one? They're super pretty. I like them so much. Okay, this is, it really looks good on screen. I think I probably really like YouTube more than I do Facebook because the light is better and the screen is better and I'm like the quality of my video and yes, I'm pro YouTube. Oh well, I only speak English quite well, I think. So I need to be careful when I say that when I'm streaming in English, because some of you may think, wow, Cindy, your English is so bad. If you're living in England, I guess you'd think that. Yeah, I like lives too, but I was quite nervous for this one, to be honest, because this one is really for me and for my own channel, and it's not for somebody else or for Lindy's or for Hobby Vision. So it's kind of more like it's really close to myself, and I feel a bit more vulnerable with this stream than I would usually do when I stream for like another band or for Hobby Vision. So I'm guessing that might mean hi from Spain. I hope so. Thank you. Well, we went on holiday to Cape Verde, and we met a couple of English people there, and we were talking with them, and it was fun. And well, after a couple of drinks, they were like, "Oh, so where do you live in America?" And we both just laughed at them, and we were like, "Oh, America. Well, we kind of live in Holland. We're not American at all." And they were so confused because they really thought we were from America. And that was weird. So I know I can speak quite well. I can speak English quite well, but well, I think it must have been the alcohol. So I'm just assembling them and just putting them together, but not really thinking about it or anything, just putting them together. So if you're beginning with mixed media and if you're just starting with it, just keep in mind that you always should follow a shape. So what you can see is that I've kind of used a shape that goes from the top corner to the middle of the bottom. And here I use just this point as a reference, and I just work my way up and it gets wider on top. So here it's like this shape, so it kind of follows this piece, and here it more or less follows this piece. So this just runs or flows, so it matches this shape. I hope that makes sense. Oh well, yeah. It was, so I was just checking the comments because I was just busy with assembling everything. But yeah, Ilse, you just see them like real time. So that's just perfect. So just ask me something and I will answer it so you can see how fast it goes. Okay, so I'm still very sorry for the sniffing. So, okay, so this is it. I'm still in doubt whether I should use this color or not. I'm going to let this just keep it. I'm going to keep it the way it is, but I'm just adding some of the Firebird just to match the color on the purple resin pieces. I think that looks better. Yes, it's way better than Facebook. I'm so much more a fan of streaming on YouTube. It's easier, but it's also more I can rely better on YouTube, because Facebook can be like a pain in the you know what with connection and everything. And this is just so easy and it's real time and the quality is good, and well, you get more audience, I think. Or you can reach a wider audience. So these are the tags. And now I'm just going to add some finishing touches. So what I'm going to do is use my unicorn paste. And if you don't know unicorn paste, you have been sleeping underneath a rock. No, just kidding, but I'm going to show you. And unicorn paste is going to change your life. And I'm going to add some Nuvo drops. Of course, Yvonne, Nuvo drops. Okay, so unicorn paste. It has a little brother, and the little brother is called Golden Nuggets. So both of these are amazing, but unicorn paste is just the best. Golden Nugget is a... Okay, so this kind of looks dirty. So the grayish kind of color will dry transparent, and the finish is just like a really glittery, dark glitter, gold glitter. It's a little bit what you see here, but it's glitter. This is gorgeous, but it's dark. So the other one is unicorn paste. So unicorn paste is a glossy kind of medium with all these little pieces of mica and sparks, and it's all different sizes, and when you put it on top of a project, it's just going to sparkle. So I'm going to show you just how it looks when it dries, because it dries a bit slow. So I've made this little birdhouse. You may have seen it. And on this one, I've used the unicorn paste. Haha, Janneke, sorry. Ja, die is echt heel fijn. Daar word je heel blij van. So as you can see, these little particles, so the little glitterers, are unicorn paste. I love this. It's the best. So I'm going to add that to my tags, just to make it a bit more sparkly. I like sparkly. I think the most easy way to apply it is using a palette knife or maybe a brush. I most of the time mostly just use a palette knife. I thought I could use my Silicone Finnabair brush this time, so I really should buy a new one. But I think this probably will be too big, but I'm just going to see what happens. Oh, this is perfect. So as you can see now, it is a bit grayish, but when it dries, it will dry clear and you will only see the sparkly particles. And that's gorgeous. I really like that. Well, I probably should hide underneath a stone sometimes. That would be better for my bank account. Ja, Ilse, ik snap niet dat je dit nog niet hebt. So I was asking, I was saying Ilse in Dutch that I'm just can't understand why she doesn't own this yet. You can't live without unicorn paste. You just can't. It's like gesso. Zet het op het verlanglijstje. Bestelt het morgen. Ja. Okay, so this is going to dry. And then I'm adding white spots of gesso. Just easy as that. I kind of like how they turned out. Let me clean this paint a bit. We're all the same. Yeah, I think you could use clear gesso and glitter, but, well, it just isn't the same. But you probably, yeah, well, you could use that. You probably will have a similar effect, but it just won't be the same, I guess. So I'm really going to love my scrubby. Look at those hands. Yeah, but they're not finished yet. They're gonna be so much more beautiful even when I'm done. Okay, so it's not like that I'm always loving my work, but I love these materials. Those products are so easy. They're like setting you up for success. Yes, I'm loving the little mica flakes. Okay, so what did I say? White gesso. Okay, where? Oh, here's my white gesso. So I kind of hoped that my gold was becoming better, but it really isn't. Oh my Miriam. Well, it only gets shorter whenever I order stuff, but then again, when I order, I also have a wish list already, like getting ready for the next order, so. But I think we're all the same. So I'm using a old toothbrush. Cool, Christine. Would love to see it. So I'm going to add some water just to make it a bit more fluid. It will make this process a bit more easy. So I'm just rubbing my toothbrush, and then I'll just run by the sides, but I'm going to use a new one. This one will work. This one is too soft. But I have like this really cheap toothbrushes just laying here waiting to be used, and this is so much easier. So I'm going to show you a bit more. So you can see you can make this really, really nice small. Doei Janneke, bedankt voor het kijken. Really tiny splatters. And I really like the effect because you can create some sort of starry sky kind of effect. So with this moon and the sun, and I really like that. So let me get some more white gesso. Like this, and now I'm going to do the same thing with the other one, but I just need more gesso to do this. So I'm just adding some tiny splatters. Let me grab a new one. Normally I would have some patience, but now I just want to get this finished. So I'm using new toothbrush after new toothbrush. So maybe I should keep it laying down. I totally forgot that my heavy body gel probably wouldn't be dry yet. So now I have this really, really cool splatters. And together with the unicorn paste, it's just perfect. So the DJ on the background is playing Sweet Dreams. They're having a party over there, I guess. So now I'm just going to dry it a bit and then adding some Nuvo drops, which are really cool too. One of my favorite, I've got several colors, like the stone drops are the latest ones, and they're really pretty too. And I wanted to show you the drops. Look, they are here. So they're like some purple with some purple kind of small rocks in there. No, I'm really not going to sing. If you ask the people that come to my classes in the gym, and if you ask them, can Cindy sing? They're probably going to say, altogether, no. I'm always singing along with the songs, and because I'm wearing a microphone, they sometimes really hate me. Because I can sing like really, really bad and really, really loud. Okay, let me find some nice drops. Oh, what color should I use? I'm going to use a copper kind of color and a silver one, I guess. I think I added different colors onto my a list of scrapbook.com, but these will work too. I will update the list after I'm finished. So when I know what I exactly used, I will update the list. Okay, so it's not a good idea to do live streams when you're cold. Okay, so if you're struggling with creating nice drops, I have this little tip for you. When you put down the nozzle just slightly into your drop and then squeeze the bottle, you will get a nicer drop. So I'm just keeping it in the drop and then just lift it. So let me show you one. I hope you can see it like this. I think so. So I'm keeping the nozzle in and then just lift it. And the little point will go away. Well, copper penny, and I'm using liquid Mercury. That's cool too. It's like a more cold kind of metal color, but it's really pretty. Yeah, well, that's a bit of the problem when watching my live streams. I only use really nice materials. So with everything, you're gonna be like, oh, I need to have that. I can totally imagine I had exactly the same feeling when I saw these products. That's why I'm using them. So now let me just add a text and then we're good to go. I'm still in doubt whether I should use some micro beads, but I'm guessing that will probably be a bit too much, so I'm not going to do that. But I will add a little text. And let me see what I'm going to use. I think I'll probably use my Finnabair sentiments. They're really cool. So, thank you, Gabby. So let me see the comments just. I missed the last one because I was so focused on making those drops look nice. Okay, let me first decide what color I'm going to use. I really like the green one. So I'm not sure if you have this one, but this is like a really good a set of stickers because of the colors. So these colors are so pretty, and I really like the green one. I'm not at all into green one, but they're green, but I really like how they work with the waxes. Not so fan of the yellow one. Yeah, I'm going to use these. Okay, build your wings. That's gonna be the first, of course. Okay, so the quieter you become, the more you can hear. I'm probably not going to use that one because that would be a good advice for me. I'm not going to listen to that. Oh, let me see. Look for the magic. That one is cool too. But I wanted to use a smaller one. So build your wings is cool. That will be good here. And let me see. Perfection is overrated. I like that one. So I saw some people having trouble with the sheets, And I'm not sure, maybe they're just unlucky, but if you remove them like really slow, they work quite well in my little book. So maybe it works if you just lift them like really slow and really carefully. Okay, so what I always do with my little sentiments is adding a piece of corrugated cardboard. I hope I pronounced that right. And I'm just giving it a little frame. And then I'm going to cut these. I have to set up my glue gun because that will work so much better with these little pieces. And then the other one. Where's the other one? I like this one. Perfection is overrated. That's so true. It's so much better to not be perfect and so much easier. I really like the greenish kind of tone. It's really pretty. Like this. Je hebt dat dus, Saskia. Oh joh. Ik kan zo vals zingen. Terwijl het grappig is, ik kan best wel zingen, maar ik kan gewoon vooral ook heel goed vals zingen. Okay, so I just need to wait a little before my glue gun is hot enough. Waarheen, Ango? Naar mij? Dat valt nog wel mee, toch? Dat is nog te doen. Ja. Ben je klaar? Nee. So, let me get these on. I'm going to glue this one and this one on top. I probably would not glue them on the same spot, I guess. I guess this is better. I'm going to curl them a bit. Ja, ik vind het helemaal goed. Wees welkom. Yes, Christine, he did. So I guess he heard me talking in Dutch. So he probably figured I was talking to him. So I guess he was like, Cindy, are you finished? It must be tough for guys to be with a creative soul, always waiting for them to get finished. So here it is. I really like how they turned out. I'm pretty happy with the result. So let me clean a bit because I like showing you the finished result on a clean table. thanks girls. Or spending their money, yes, that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing classes and I'm doing all the live stuff and all the YouTube things just to make sure I can spend my own money and not his. You have like this really fun quote on the internet which says, if I die, please don't let my husband sell my supplies for what I told him they were worth, or something like that. I could so relate to that. So these are the finished tags. So they're quite big for tags, but I like how they turned out anyway. So the same, but also very, very different. So the one with the moon, and I really like the wings on here. So I like the fact that they are similar but different. So I'm going to update my list so you can check on it more specifically. If you have any questions or something, just put them in the comment section, because I will check back on it every now and then. I'm really happy for you guys to all join my live stream. I will probably be streaming more often, but I'm not sure yet on what time. So please just pay attention to the time because it could be different next time. I just need to test what's best. Yes, well, I guess that was it. So thank you for watching. Have a great day or morning or night or whatever, wherever you are. And yeah, well, thank you.